Welcome to the deep dive. So you've been looking into the 2025 NBA playoffs. Seems like a lot of searches coming through.
Yep, quite a few.
And our job here is to help make sense of it all, get you up to speed quickly.
Exactly. Looks like the goal is to really nail down the key parts of the playoff picture fast.
Right. And the searches suggest you're thinking about, well, both where teams are now and what's coming up. Smart approach.
It is, yeah. It's always changing.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, the foundation, really. NBA standings. We don't have the exact numbers here, but these standings, they're everything, right?
Absolutely fundamental. They decide who's in directly, who's seated where, and who has to battle it out in the play-in tournament.
It's kind of wild how every single regular season game funnels into this moment.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
all about positioning for that best possible playoff run. Not just wins, but where you finish.
And speaking of paths, we saw a lot of searches like play-in tournament, NBA play-in. People are definitely tracking this.
Yeah, the play-in.
For anyone maybe needing a quick reminder, that's the teams ranked, what, 7th through 10th?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
In each conference. They fight for those last two playoff spots.
And you're also looking for the NBA play-in schedule, which makes sense. Gotta know when those crucial games are.
That plan has definitely added some extra spice to the end of the regular season, hasn't it?
Totally. Teams that might have been checked out are now in the fight.
Right. It changes strategies across the board.
Now, you also seem pretty focused on the Western Conference. Lots of searches there. Western Conference standings, NBA, NBA West standings.
And specific teams, too.
Yeah, Timberwolves standings, Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors standings. Big interest in the West?
Well, that's not too surprising. The West often feels like, a real gauntlet.
True. The path through the West to the finals can be incredibly tough. Makes those standings feel even more important.
Exactly. Every seeding spot matters.
So once we know who's in and where they're seated, we look at the bracket. NBA bracket, playoff bracket NBA, NBA bracket 2025. You're mapping it out.
Yeah, that bracket is the roadmap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shows you who plays who, round by round, all based on that regular season finish.
It's the visual. Helps understand potential matchups down the line.
And things like home court advantage, which seeding directly impacts. That's huge. Fans love trying to predict the path.
And predicting means knowing when the games are. So searches like playoff schedule, when do NBA playoffs start, make perfect sense.
Of course, people want those dates locked in.
We even saw Lakers playoff schedule, so definitely some specific team tracking going on.
Finding out the schedule, that's when it really feels like the postseason is here.
Yeah.
The anticipation ramps up.
Okay, here's an interesting one you searched for. NBA tiebreakers. That's getting into the details.
Ah, yes. Very important detail.
Mm.
Often overlooked, but can be decisive.
Right. If teams finish with the same record, these rules, often head-to-head results, first sort out the final seeding. You even looked at a specific one, Clippers, Warriors tiebreaker, shows how direct the impact can be.
Yeah, imagine those two teams tied. Their regular season games suddenly decide who gets the better seed, maybe avoids a tougher first-round matchup. It adds weight to those earlier games.
Definitely. Suddenly, that game back in January matters a whole lot more.
Exactly.
And finally, NBA playoff scenarios. Warriors playoff scenarios. That's classic fan thinking, right? Exploring the what-ifs.
It is. It shows real engagement, trying to figure out all the potential outcomes based on who wins or loses down the stretch.
Understanding how one game can shift everything for multiple teams.
Yeah, you really appreciate the complexity then. The ripple effects.
Okay, so let's quickly wrap this part. Your searches show you get it. Standings are key. Feeding the play-in, especially out west. You're looking at the bracket, the schedule, aware of those crucial tiebreakers, and already running through the potential scenarios.
So it seems you've got a good handle on the main elements, which actually brings up maybe a final thought for you to consider.
Yep.
With this play-in tournament now firmly in place, how much do you think that extra layer of, unpredictability changes how teams approach the end of the regular season? Knowing more teams technically have a shot, it definitely adds a whole new strategic wrinkle to think about.